Did ancient civilizations know about time travelers? The answer is yes, but not in the way you might think. Forget the sci-fi image of a machine with flashing lights. The ancient concept is far more profound, rooted in metaphysics, spirituality, and altered states of consciousness. Let's journey back to discover the real time travelers of esoteric traditions. First, we need to completely rethink what time is. For most of us, time is a straight line, an arrow moving from past to future. But for ancient traditions in Egypt, India, and Greece, this was a limited view. Time was seen as a cycle like the great ages or yugas in Vedic texts. It was also seen as a vertical ladder with different planes or levels of reality. Plato famously called time the moving image of motionless eternity. So for the ancients, traveling through time wasn't about physically moving along a timeline. It was about changing your level of being, your state of consciousness, to access a higher timeless reality. Let's start in ancient Egypt. The pyramid texts speak of mysterious beings called the Shemsu-Hor, the followers of Horus. These weren't ordinary humans. They were described as survivors from a previous antediluvian age, keepers of forgotten knowledge. They would appear at critical moments in history to restore Mot, the cosmic order. Think of them not as mechanical travelers, but as guardians of civilizational memory, emerging from a different epoch to guide humanity. Then there's the god Osiris. He is killed within our time, but is resurrected into eternity. He operates from the Duat, a realm outside of human chronology. Osiris is a being who acts upon our world from another temporal dimension, a master of time because he exists beyond it. Now, let's turn to Hermeticism, the wisdom attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. In the famous text, the Poemanders, Hermes describes a profound mystical experience. The initiate mentally ascends through the cosmic spheres, transcending the flow of time and becoming. In this state, they can witness the very genesis of the world, see the past, and understand the future of the soul. This is a journey through time, but it's an inner journey of the mind, the nous, or divine intellect. By identifying with this universal mind, the initiate becomes contemporary with all eras because the mind itself is timeless. Over in Vedic India, we find similar ideas. The great sages, known as the Rishis, are not historical figures bound by a single lifespan. They are described as timeless beings who hear the eternal truths of the Vedas rather than composing them. They exist before, during, and after the cosmic cycles, reappearing in each new age to transmit wisdom. Some texts even suggest a sage can consciously leave one era and reappear in another without aging. This isn't a physical anomaly. It's a trans-temporal transmission of consciousness. They are living archives of cosmic knowledge, unbound by the years. Ancient Greece also explored this concept. The Stoics and Plato discussed the idea of eternal return, where the universe is periodically destroyed and reborn in an identical cycle. Within this framework, an awakened soul could potentially remember its past lives across these cosmic resets. They would appear in a new cycle as someone who carries knowledge from another time. Pythagoras famously claimed to remember his past lives, including fighting in the Trojan War. He was a traveler, not of matter, but of memory, accessing previous points in his soul's long journey. Gnosticism, a mystical branch of early Christianity, offers another fascinating perspective. Gnostic texts from Nag Hammadi describe a higher spiritual reality called the Pleroma, which exists outside of time. Beings called Aeons descend from this timeless realm into our historical world. The Gnostic savior figure is the ultimate example. He appears in history, but doesn't belong to it. He is a timeless being intervening in our chronology to awaken humanity. As Christ says in the Gospel of John, before Abraham was, I am. This isn't just a statement of pre-existence. It's a declaration of a timeless nature, operating from eternity within the confines of time. This brings us to the alchemists and Rosicrucians of later centuries. Their goal was the great work, a spiritual transformation that liberates the adept from the limitations of the material world, including time. An accomplished adept, they believed, is no longer subject to profane linear time. They act in accordance with an inner spiritual time. This is the origin of legendary figures like the Count of Saint-Germain, a mysterious man who appeared in European courts across several centuries, seemingly without aging. He was perceived not as a time traveler and a machine, but as an immortal, a being who had achieved a state of stability in eternity, allowing him to manifest in different eras. So, when we compare these ancient traditions, a clear picture emerges. They never speak of machines, paradoxes, or branching timelines. Instead, their time travel is always about altered states of consciousness, accessing cosmic memory and connecting with the timeless eternal reality. The figures they describe aren't bodies moving through time. They are beings who have stepped outside of it. Let's synthesize this. All these spiritual systems, from Egypt to India, Gnosticism to Hermeticism, share a fundamental principle. Time as we know it is a condition of our manifested world, a product of our limited consciousness. Awakening, enlightenment, or gnosis is the process of transcending this condition. But some beings, whether we call them Rishis, Bodhisattvas, Aeons, or avatars, can operate from that timeless state within our history. They are the true time travelers of the ancient world. They aren't visitors from the future. They are emissaries from eternity. The modern world dreams of inventing a machine to conquer time. The ancient world sought a spiritual practice to dissolve it. The modern time traveler wants to move through history. The ancient adepts sought to become one with the timeless source of history itself. The focus was never on technology, but on transformation. The ultimate secret wasn't about building a better machine, but about becoming a better, more conscious being, one who understands that true power lies not in moving through time, but in realizing you are, and always have been, beyond it. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through ancient wisdom. If you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the mysteries of the past. See you next time.